Hello all, welcome back to this channel where I solve Leetcode's problem of the day with you all. So before proceeding to the video, let me tell you about myself. I'm a guardian at Leetcode and I've solved more than 1,000 questions of DSA problems across various platforms. So I have been through the grind and I know the struggle it takes to be in this field, and I consider that you are learning from someone who is very similar to you all. So do like and share the video if you like it. So let's begin solving the question without wasting any time. So it's Leetcode's question number 3423. It's an easy level question, and that's maximum difference between adjacent elements in circular array. So what is this adjacent word means? So it means that side by side, like here in this number 3423, 4 is adjacent to 2 and 4 is adjacent to 2 and 3. In the same way 2 is adjacent to 4 and 3. So the elements which are in the side by side are known as adjacent elements. And the next up is the circular array. So let me explain you what circular arrays are actually. Okay, so consider an example of array like take it as 1 2 3, a simple, or let's take it 4 also. Okay, so a basic array, that's a linear array which we say, is represented like this, right? 1 2 3. So with indexing of 0 1 2 3, it's represented in a straight line, or you can say linear format way. But when it comes to circular array, what actually happens is that our last and first element also gets interconnected, right? So this is how it happens. So if you understand this with a diagram, it would be somewhat similar to this. Okay, with this 1 2 3 and 4. Okay, so just avoid the drawing and the all of these things, and it will be 0 1, it shall be one more, 0 1 2 and 3, right? And that's how the elements will be placed. So in this you can see this, that our first and the last elements are now side by side to each other. So this is what a circular array is, right? So just after, when you encounter the last element in the straight array or the linear array, the array ends basically there. But here in circular array does not ends, it again starts traversing from the start of the array, right? So it's like a never ending cycle. Okay, so this was the circular array. Let's see the question now. So the question is the simple thing which was given in the heading only, like maximum absolute value between adjacent elements. Okay, and this is what it is given. The first and last elements are adjacent. Like in this, if you take the difference of 1 and 2, the absolute difference, that's the positive difference, we get 1, and then for 2 and 4 we get 2. And then if we take the difference of first and last element, so we get as 1 minus 4, or 4 minus 1, which is 3. So that's the maximum value, which is 3. And the same is with this element, with this example also. The constraints are very small, so it could definitely be done with for loop, and yeah. And also no if you code in C++, there is no problem. I'll provide you the code at the end of this video. Your first priority should be understanding the concept of the question, okay, and then you could easily code it by yourself, but still for the safer side I'll provide the code at the end, right? So let's see the approach, what we can do. Okay, so definitely since we have to find out the adjacent difference between the elements, obviously we'll have to traverse through it. Okay, and we have to find out the maximum difference. So that maximum difference should be stored somewhere, right? So we should definitely have a variable max, named max, which should we could try that, which should initially store the difference between the absolute difference between first and last element, so we don't have to traverse it in that loop, right? So we will just simply store the ABS value of math of, I'm saying this nums of first element minus nums of this last, right? It will just initially store it, and now it's just a very straightforward solution. We will just take a for loop, right? Obviously we should take this for loop which will traverse from 1 till n, right? And there will be like incrementation, and this max will just take the maximum out of value of itself and the adjacent one. Right, then ABS of nums of I, and because I have started this from 1, so I need that 0th element also. So for that I'll take off nums of I minus 1. That's a simple one, and then this max will be returned, and that's how it should be. So we should let's try coding this. And I also have one more approach for this, which you would find to be more intuitive, more logical. So we shall look to it after trying this approach, right? Which, as I said, it will be the absolute difference between first and the last elements index is n minus 1. Okay, so this will just get the absolute difference between first and last element, and now we will simply traverse from 1th index till the last index. Okay, and this max will store the maximum value out of this max, and math.abs of nums of I minus nums of I minus 1. Okay, and we shall now simply return this max, and this is accepted. Let's try submitting this, and this is again accepted. So the second approach which I was talking about is of modulus operator. Okay, so this modulus operator, as I said, is actually denoted by percentage, as I told you, and it gives the remainder. Okay, remainder. So we can use this operator in order to get the index, right? So what happens with this modulus operator is, until for all the numbers which is actually less than, like take this example, like you have your n as 3. Okay, so for all the numbers less than 3, if you take the modulus of all the numbers which are less than this n, okay, so you will get the same number only, like 0 which is less than 3. If you take the modulus of this with 0, you will get 0 only. Same for 1, when you will take the modulus of 1 with 3, you will get 1. For 2, you will get 2 only. But when it comes to the same number like 3, what will actually happen, that you will get 0. So are you understanding that why did I use this? Like in order to get my first and the last index in continuation, right, I am using this modulus operator. Like it was going from 0, 1 and 2, and now again we got 0. So in order to get our first and last element in continuation, I'm using this modulus operator. The steps would be the same. Okay, there will be just slight changes, that in the for loop we shall traverse, instead of traversing from I till n minus 1, we shall traverse till n, from 1 till n. Okay, so we will take this as 0, and then you will have for int I is equal to 0, I is less than and equal to n, and I plus plus. Okay, and it's simple. Then math dot max of max comma math dot abs of, and now it will be nums of I modulo n. Okay, and minus nums of I minus 1, the same thing which I did here. I minus 1 is just I'm applying modulo to the both numbers just to get my first and last element in continuation, right? Modulo n, and simply this will be returned. And okay, it is giving me some error. It is saying that it is out of bound. Nums of I percentile. Okay, I took it from 0. It should be from 1. It is accepted. Let's try submitting it, and it is accepted, right? Okay, and as I said that this is the code for C++ coders also. You may refer to it if you want. And yes, so this question was easy, right? We shall meet tomorrow again here only with another question, okay, and with the same spirit. Till then, bye bye.